There it goes. I had to restart Chrome to make this whole thing function. It just spun and spun and spun, and now it's working. Well, happy Sunday. I gotta say it. May the 4th be with you. And then you say back, and also with you, right? It is Sunday, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Well, let's see. Eventful things. I have been working on a couple of video projects that one of them is nearly done. Huge, huge, huge 4-camera setup, bouncing back and forth between camera angles. It's going to be cool, but it's a lot of editing. My kids have been begging me to go to the rec center. So we went to the rec center yesterday, and of course I didn't swim. I was editing my video, and I told the girls, let's play, let's swim until my battery dies, right? Until my laptop gets to like 20% or something. And so they swam and swam and swam. And then I was editing this video. I got about 3/4 of the way through, and then my laptop was like, yeah, I can't take anymore. It was like hot. It's kind of humid in the pool area anyway, but it started getting really hot, and I was like, okay, yeah, I guess I think maybe we're that's all we can take for today. And so I took my kids to the rec center, to the pool for a little while. It was fun. It was really cool. And of course, me being a prominent person in the neighborhood, I recognized, of course, multiple people that work there, kids that I have in my classes or have had in my classes that work at the rec center. It's really funny to see that. I wouldn't consider myself a celebrity, more so for teaching than, for YouTube or something. It's funny. Good morning. Video editing sounds like a hard knock life. It's actually not that bad. I've been doing it for 20 years now. Lacing together video is tricky, right? To build videos. But it turns out really cool when you're done, So it's something to really be proud of. I consider video editing sort of like a work of art, right? In the same way that painting or drawing or ceramics, sculpture, right? Those are works of art, and they're tedious and they take time. But once you're done, you can really be proud of it. It's the exact same thing with a video, right? I'm editing a video. Yes, it's maybe toiling and, tedious and all that. But once I'm I'm fully built and I've created this kind of beautiful masterpiece, and then I export it, and maybe it's not for me. See, that's the other thing about video. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's for a specific client. When I did wedding videos, 17, 18 years ago, those clients are really the only person that saw that. It was like a personalized custom music video for you about your wedding day. And, maybe they'd share it with friends and family and stuff, but it wasn't ever posted on YouTube. It didn't go viral, didn't get 1 million views. It was like a custom work of art for that couple. And that's how I thought of it, and how I continue to think about it. I'm not making something that I hope to go viral or whatever. Now, nowadays, I don't work with individual clients as often. Sometimes I do. And sometimes they will go out to a larger group. But a lot of times when I'm working, it's just going to be like a smaller group that sees a video, right? It's kept for posterity. It's kept for generations or whatever, for the members of that organization, but not necessarily going out there in the world. Now, stuff that I do make for my personal channel, you can see if you go to my channel, I make, lots of sometimes silly videos that are works of art. Some of them abstract, like a 10-hour version of a song or something. But some of them are factual. Some of them are helpful. Some of them are just me spitting knowledge, teaching. But I find video editing to be a work of art, in a weird way, kind of therapeutic. I don't know. It's just one of those things that I can do really quickly. I know all the keyboard shortcuts. I can punch it in really quickly. For radar detector to be taken down, well, it's there for you. You can just say, don't recommend this. I guess you have to say don't recommend the channel, so don't do that. It's just they're bugging you. I guess the only thing you have to do, it's like when a kid gets caught with cigarettes, they have to smoke an entire carton. You just have to listen all 10 hours. You can listen to it on mute. How about that? I'll allow that. All right. Let's look at the connections puzzle. We got 16 words. Let's make sense of them. Yesterday, the connections puzzle was very nonsensical until we finally sort of picked it apart. We made it work. I was actually pretty nervous about it, but we made it work. Okay, just staring at it here, I think I already see one of them, but let's see. I see Chewy, Noodle, Cars, Darth, Jam, Boba, Tough, Shred, Solo, Dry, Sugar, Bluto, Tea, Genus, Stringy, and Milk. Okay, so the first thing I see, and I don't know if I'm supposed to see this, but I see Bluto for Pluto, Darth for Earth, we replace one letter, and then Cars for Mars. I saw another one. Where did it go? Oh, Genus for Venus. These are planets with one letter changed. Yeah. Aw, isn't that sweet? They even included Pluto by calling it a dwarf planet. I actually learned a little bit about Pluto after it was demoted, and Pluto is actually only about the size of Texas. Like, it's not very big. You know, you could fit Pluto multiple times within the Earth. So compared to the size of it, there are moons that are bigger. Our moon, I think, is bigger than Pluto, and somehow we put it up on a pedestal when it was first discovered. Okay, so I see Boba, Tea, Sugar, Milk. Are these things to put in a tea? To make a boba tea? Yeah, bubble tea. Great. Don't overthink these, guys. Don't overthink these. Look at this. I've got the two most challenging ones first. What if I get them in reverse order today? That's really funny. Yeah, dwarf planet. I mean, it is a very small celestial body. Okay, so something is tough. You're in a jam. Dry noodles, chewy noodles, stringy, and tough. I don't know why, but I feel like those go together. Wait, I see the other one. Hold on, let me do that one first. To solo, to noodle, to jam, and to shred. These are things you can do on a guitar. Yes. We're doing this in reverse order. I love this. Oh, I love it. Tough, dry, stringy, and chewy. These are types of noodles, right? Oh, qualities of overcooked meat. It's not about noodles. I would not want to eat a dry noodle. Have you ever bitten into like a bow tie or something? You know, like a dry noodle. It's not as agreeable. Oh, that's so funny. Congrats on Reverse Rainbow. By the way, there's a red herring category today. I know, I saw that pop out because, May the 4th be with you. Chewy, Solo, Darth, and Boba. But I'm smarter than that. I can see right through their lies. I understand the puzzles now often enough that I can go, yeah, that's probably a red herring. So Darth, like Darth Vader, Darth Maul. Boba, like Boba Fett. Solo, like Han Solo, and then Chewie, Chewbacca. But I thought, you know what? I bet they're just kind of like making that up. That's got to be, they're not going to do a themed day puzzle answer. So I bet you that's a red herring. I saw that one too, and I got it in reverse rainbow order today. Planets or dwarf planet, with the first letter changed. I don't know why I saw that one first. That just stood out. I'm like, Bluto. That's so strange. Looks like Pluto. And then I saw Darth, and I'm like, oh, yeah, Darth Vader. Oh, wait, but change the D to an E, and that's Earth. And then I saw Venus, and then I was like, oh, my gosh, it's got to be there. And then I saw Cars for Mars. Ingredients in bubble tea. We see boba, milk, sugar, and tea. I treated myself yesterday to one of those, like, half gallons of Snapple peach tea. Oh, my gosh. It tasted like a summer day. It was delicious. Boba. I think I told you my good friend that is the culinary teacher he has my daughter in his culinary class, and they have been doing this thing. He's brand new as of 2 years ago, and he's such a asset to the faculty. He's such a good guy, and he has started to do this thing where he invites all of the faculty. It's an intimate setting. There's only so many spaces, but he will call or email all of the faculty and say, hey, do you want to come to this lunch? And it's a reasonable price. It's like I think $10 or something. But for that price, you get a full 3-course meal. It takes the entire lunch period to deliver this meal, and it's 30 of us all around a big long banquet table and chatting, and there's conversation and stuff. It's really fun. And this 5-star cuisine comes out, and it's a salad and homemade breadsticks, and what did we have? The last 2 times it was one day after the other, because he has 2 culinary classes, an A day and a B day. So one gets to do it, and then the other gets to do it. And my daughter does the one of them, and they did firecracker chicken and homemade. I don't know if the noodles were homemade, but the sauce was homemade, and maybe it was actually. I don't doubt it. His program is so neat. He does just he teaches the kids how to make their own broth. He teaches them how to make things from scratch, right? He helps them understand kind of the ins and outs of a chicken by everyone gets a rotisserie chicken and they dissect it almost like they're dissecting in a science class or something. It's really just the science of cooking. It's Alton Brown. It's so cool. I wish I could take his class, honestly. Just super cool. Yeah, anyway, what I was saying about that is the day they did a Chinese thing, it was that same day they also had a really nice lychee tea with strawberry boba in it. Oh man, I even took a picture of the number 10 can, the jar of boba, to see where they got it from, because I would like to buy one of those for my house. It was that good. But they made bubble tea for us that day. It was really neat. So if you're going to play something on an electric guitar, that's going to be to jam, which is to rock out, to noodle, which is just sort of goofing around, to shred, which is goofing around, but really calculated and impressive to people listening. And then solo, which I guess is, soloing and shredding is kind of the same. You can't cook without a recipe. Okay, so I don't know if you know this about me. I don't think you do yet. I have multiple recipe books. My wife has lots of recipe books, and she'll tell me, okay, I want let's do this tonight, because it's fun. Because she'll cook sometimes, and I'll cook sometimes, and she'll say, oh, it'd be really fun if we did this, right? And so she'll show me a picture in a recipe book or something, and she'll hand me the recipe and say, okay, follow the recipe this time. She says this time, because she knows what I'll inevitably do is I will look at the recipe. I'll look at the ingredients, maybe even the amounts of the ingredients, but then kind of treat that as a jumping off point. It won't be the actual way I make the recipe. It'll usually just be, I'll add a little more of this. This sounds a little low. Maybe I'll add more sauce, and I will not fully word for word use a recipe. I will usually use a recipe just sort of as a jumping off point. It's an inspiration. I have books and books of inspiration, not books and books of step-by-step instructions. So I always take it with a grain of salt, reading a recipe. Oh, that's funny. Qualities of overcooked meat. I thought these were about noodles. I don't know, because I saw noodle over here. Right? We're talking about boba and tea and noodles and all that. Qualities of overcooked meat: chewy meat, dry meat, stringy meat, and tough. That's another thing. I like my meat in a different way than my wife likes cooking meat. I like mine a little more kind of medium rare. And she likes it cooked, not cooked to death, like it's dry and tough and stuff, but she does like it a little browner instead of a little bit of pink in the middle. And so I will usually, if we're cooking steaks, I will make mine and then pull it off early and let it rest, and then cook the rest a couple more minutes, and they're, a little tougher, sure, a little tougher, but not to the point where they're chewy and dry and gross. So everybody likes it different, honestly. Everybody likes their meat a little bit different. Okay, mini. Oh look, today's mini is like wider. That's funny. Here, if I pull this higher, you can see it better. There we go. There's a whole row missing today. Okay, wines that Napa Valley is renowned for. That's reds, I think. Whoops. Come on, now we type. There we go. Reds. Yeah. Right away. Let's see. Not ASAP. Right away. I don't know what's going to fit there. School students. Pupils. It's a funny word, isn't it? Make a mistake or aid across back. No way. Does it really? Slip up. Pupils slip up. How do they find these? That's so crazy. Words that are anagrams of each other. There was a killer anagram yesterday. Silent and mix the letters around and it becomes listen. Who knew that was a thing? Silent and listen. I was so impressed by that one. And here's another one. A school student might be a pupil. Pupils. And then to make a mistake or aid across backwards is slip up. To slip up, to make a mistake. I'm impressed. That takes some digging to find, anagrams and I could use that in my classroom too. I'm going to take a screenshot of that actually. Is that crazy? Because really, pupils do slip up. Pupils slip up. Many a new driver. Maybe a teen. I've got a teen driver. Watch out, world. Here comes a bunch of new drivers that all got the answers from ChatGPT. I'm just kidding. Let's see. Items of clothing that may be worn backward. Why would you wear... I don't know. We'll come back to it. Gawande, surgeon with the #1 New York Times bestseller Being Mortal. Oh, I don't know who that would be. Hasbro toy with a pull handle and a twistable crank. Oh, okay. Hold on. So these are not... This is not correct. Because this one is Bop It. I don't know. What article of clothing would you wear backwards? Criticize snarkily with at. Maybe to gripe at. Or to snipe at. You're reading it. Oh, I'm reading a clue. I'm like, wait, what? I'm reading... Thank you. I'm reading a clue. Channel with 2 and U spin-offs. Oh, ESPN. Wines that Napa Valley is renowned for. I don't drink wine. I don't know. We'll come back. Right away. At once. Okay, so not knowing the down. Oh, item of clothing that could be worn backwards. Caps. Oh. Okay. Wines that Napa Valley is renowned for. Cabs. Cabernets. There it is. Cabernet. Sauvignon. I do know that one. Wines that Napa Valley is renowned for informally. Oh, it does say informally. I don't know why. I didn't see that word before. Informally. Cabs. Cabernet Sauvignon. Right away. At once. School students. Pupils. And then make a mistake or aid across backwards. How clever is that? Pupils slip up. Slip up. Took me a while too, yeah. I don't know alcohol very well, but I do know lots of different glasses, like a Collins glass or that kind of thing, for not having a drop of alcohol in my life. I do know, actually, strangely, quite a bit about the scene. Let's see. Many a new driver, a teen. Look out. Items of clothing that may be worn backward. Caps. Atoll Gowande, surgeon with the #1 New York Times bestseller Being Mortal. Atoll. I don't know. Hasbro toy with a pull handle and a twistable crank. Bop it. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Pass it. Criticize snarkily with at, to snipe at. You're reading it. We're reading a clue. Right? The hints for the puzzle are called clues. And then channel with to or you spin-offs. ESPN. Nice. Okay, we have gotten very lucky the last few days with the Wordle. 2 days ago, I guessed ghoul, and it gave me 2 greens, and then one other green, and then by the time I was there, it was like on my 4th or 5th, and I had all greens. There was not a single yellow. I was like super lucky. Let's start with, how about cloud? No freaking way. You guys, seriously, I just woke up. Like, I'm not, that's so funny. If anybody is like accusing me of cheating or something, I promise you, no other tabs have been open besides YouTube and the puzzles. Oh my gosh. That wouldn't be very fun if you cheated anyway. It's like, oh, I'm going to go on a live stream and then do what I already know what it is. No, you guys know me. I love to productively struggle through this. Okay, here, how about a non-intersecting word like party? Okay, a little bit of help there. What should we do now? No, we already guessed an R. Wait, is that a word? Sane? How about, I mean, that would give us all the vowels. Okay. So we have 4 letters, and 2 of them are in this pile here of unguessed letters. Can I pull that higher? Can you see it if I pull it higher? No. Okay, so this might be like, what letters go together? I mean, TR go together, right? TROU. Trow? I don't think that's how you spell trow. I mean, there's trout. That's a word. This would tell us the order of the letters, right? Nice. Or it would just give us the answer. We got it on the 5th yesterday, and I was seeing the number 5 creep up slowly higher and higher on the chart. I'm like, man, we're doing higher and higher, more and more 5th times, but still on the 4th, still mostly on the 4th. That's too funny. All right, so we started with cloud. You know me, I don't have like a strategy word. I don't have a go-to word. In fact, a kid was saying one time, oh, you should guess this word. I'm like, that's a terrible idea. Then you would have to re-guess some of those letters. You know, it was like a word that gives you all the vowels or something. And I'm like, why would you do that? Because then every subsequent guess has to use one of those letters. Therefore, you're less efficient in guessing. I said, just come up with a word and then come up with 2 other words that don't use any of the previous letters, right? And for the kid that I showed about a week and a half ago, it was eye-opening. He was like, what? That actually works really well. I'm like, yeah, do what I say. It works. So I come up with just any old word, and there's actually hundreds of combinations, probably thousands, I don't know, of non-intersecting words that don't use any of the same letters there. Yeah, is it a do? I think it's a do. And I take issue with that because it uses too many letters all at once. In fact, if I start off with an A or an E or something, I go, dang, then my third one, I'm going to have to eke out one that starts with a U or an O or a Y or something, right? And it's easier to just come up with those harder letters first. Like if I can come up with a word that has a U and a Y in it, I do that first, because then my second non-intersecting word has easier letters in it. I can come up with more words that way, right? And then a third non-intersecting word. But, even though that was no help, it still is help, because the process of elimination, there's only 12 letters, right? And so moving letters around, I'm like, okay, well, TR go together. If it's like consonant, consonant, vowel, vowel, and then maybe probably a consonant at the end, just like cloud is, then TR go together, right? CL. There's certain letters that kind of join together. And so TR would work. And then the only thing I could see that made sense there was putting another T at the end. So, yeah, process of elimination. Okay, let's play the strands. And I need to fix my puzzle there. There we go. Okay, today's theme, Star Wars, A New Hope. Are these Star Wars words? Are these space-related words? I see an X, which is really strange. I see the word galaxy. Okay, galaxy. Maybe these are just space-related words. If you've never played before, think of the Strands puzzle almost like a word search. You're trying to find words that kind of fit the theme, and they don't just go straight up and down, straight, across. They snake around, just like this word galaxy has done. Long? I was just finding words, but that is one of the words. Oh, wait a minute. Long time ago in a galaxy. I don't see the word away, though. I see open. Okay, I thought I was onto something there. I see crawl, like a title crawl. Open. Is this a spangram? Opening. Crawl. Opening. Isn't that what I said? I swear that's what I said. What did I do wrong? Okay. Space. In a galaxy far, far away. Space. Empire. Planet. Oh, of course, Rebel. The Rebel Alliance. The Rebel Alliance. Nice. Hey, not bad. Not bad. For not remembering much of the title crawl except for a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. I think it helps to hear, planet Endor, space. These are just like space vocab words at this point. Star Wars vocab words. Empire, right? The Empire Strikes Back. The first time for the Spangram. Yeah, I saw open, and I was like, wait a minute, open? And then I thought, well, maybe it goes a different way, right? Opening, crawl, right? The title crawl that goes. That's really funny. Well, Star Wars A New Hope, a galaxy far, far away, right? Long time, galaxy, space, rebel, empire, and planet. Oh, is that why I did opening? Opening. E-E. I was like, why didn't it work? What the heck? Well, maybe if you spell it right, it would work. It's funny. All right, now we play the letterboxed. And I got to fix it every time because that little ad that pops up. Okay, so letterbox, we're trying to solve basically a word search. We're trying to span across to create, well, not the word search. We're trying to span across to create words. This time, as we had to do last time, yesterday too, we had to solve it in 5. Today we have to solve it in 5. Use up all 12 letters within 5 words. And you can't use 2 letters on the same side, one after the other. You can reuse letters. And the first letter of the second word has to be the last letter of the first word. I don't know why that's always so hard for me to say. Dyslexia is a killer, guys. I watched a video yesterday of a kid that added 100 numbers all at the same time, and I was like, I don't even remember what the first number was. I remember it had 4 digits in it, and this kid can add hundreds of digits all at the same time. I'm like, no thanks. That's not the way numbers work. If somebody gives me good. This one does have all the vowels. A, E, I, O, and U, and they're all kind of clockwise too. That's funny. Yeah, if somebody gives me a phone number over the phone, they're like, oh, hey, just jot this down real quick. And they go, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I heard that there was a 6 in there, but, it's like that didn't help. There's a 1 somewhere probably, but numbers are very tough for me. It's very challenging. I don't know. I can do a Sudoku. That's not math, but suddenly ask me to do my taxes or something. Oh man, I need help. I need real help. I was asked one time to help a financial secretary with something, and I felt so much like a fish out of water. I was just like, I'm out of my wheelhouse. Letters are great. Well, am I going to mix letters around? You bet. I noticed, actually, I was consciously aware of this one time. As I go through and read the letters, I go G, W, D, and then I read A, I, E. For some reason, I skip the order. I don't know. Maybe it's signs of early onset something, but I don't know. I've just always had a mix-up with letters and numbers, but especially numbers. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Ask me to remember a series of even 5 or 6 numbers in a row, and if you say them out loud or dictate them to me or something, I will not remember. I will just right over my head. All right, so today's letters that we're trying to use up in Letterboxd look like G, W, and D, A, E, and I, L, K, R. We can do ER, that's good. And M, and O, and U. Okay. So there's no S in the puzzle. There's no T in the puzzle. There's no N, so we can't do ING. I know, yeah. Colin, good to have you on board. It's it's a struggle, man. It's a struggle. How about maker? That's a good one. Here, I'm going to write that one down because I think I'm going to start with something else. I wrote down on this, I have yesterday's thoughts, and I have yap proudly. Yap proudly. I should make that one of my, like, that's one of my slogans. Yap proudly. That's what I do all day, every day. Live streams, kids in class. I yap proudly. Okay, we're going to write down maker. Okay, and then hit restart because I also saw, what did I see? And now, here that I'm yapping proudly, I don't remember what I saw. Oh, that's a great word. Growler. Growler. I'm going to write that one down too because I might delete all this. Growler. Speaking of alcohol containers, right? We're talking about Collins glasses and what you'd put bubble tea in and stuff. Growler. Growler is like one of those giant steins. You know, it's like a jug, like a glass ceramic jug. Like those classic ones with like the XXX on it from the cartoons. Okay, I already wrote that one down. I think I saw another one that's really good. Maraud. Or marauder. I could put an R on the end. Oh, I remember that one. It was like measurements of beer, right? It was a stein or a growler or a, oh heavens, I forget the other ones. Like a mug or I forget what it was. Here, we could go Maraud. Let's go Maraud on that one. I'm going to write it down too. I could just say Marauder with an ER on the end. Not feeling D. Let's end with the ER like I was thinking. Marauder. Oh, I can't do WD. I was going to do rowdy. Row. Road. Druid. Now we're back on the D again. What do you mean druid is not a word? Druid is absolutely a word. I disagree with that. I disagree. Druid is absolutely a word. Drag. Glick. Gluck. Glue. Oh, wait, here's one. Glued. And then we can just say kid at the end. Oh my gosh. Oh, speaking of dyslexia, I saw K-I and I was like, oh, I can just add a D to the end. No, D starts the word. Okay, I just wrote down the words I have already. And then I have a K-I. And I'm going to take a huge risk here, but can I say K-I-M? Is that a word? Shoot, that's not a word. I wrote down my letters, though. Thank goodness. Oh, maybe I went the wrong direction. That's actually not a bad idea. I'll start with marauder. I love that word. Marauder. Marauder. And then road is still a good word, right? Yeah, road. R-O-W-E-D. But I love that you went a different way. Then we go drag to get rid of the G. D-R-A-G. Glide. I was trying to get rid of it all in one go. I think that's the problem. Not glued. How about glide? And then we just need the K, which, yeah, you're right. You could. I can't do elk. See, LK are on the same side. Good thinking, though. Yeah, LK are on the same side. We can't do that. L. Please tell me that's a word. No, it's a Star Wars word. That would have been so perfect. The icing on the cake for May the 4th be with you. Ewok. That's how you spell it, too. E-W-O-K. Ewok. Not a word, they say. Not a word. Oh, that's not a bad idea. We could do rake. Rake, R-A-K-E could work. So to get over to that, we could go... What did you say? Oh, glider. Glider. Yeah, we just add an ER on the end. Glide. And then R-A-K-E. Rake. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, that'll totally do it. I love about the letterbox, I love that there are so many possible answers, right? There are so many directions you could go with the letterbox. You could go, you know, not infinitely many. There's only 12 letters here, but the words that it could make could create so many different avenues. I just think that's so cool. Like, even if you've done the puzzle, like Cal, you've probably done the puzzle already, right? But with my word that I started off with, marauder, could that get you some other, you know, some other avenue? Absolutely, right? It's going down through the multiverse, and like you've done it one way, and now I'm doing it a totally different way, and that's okay. Marauder, and the R led us to road, and then the D at the end led us to drag, and then glider, and then the R finished off with rake. Cool. That was a long one today. That was a long one, trying to figure that out. What did you do? Oh, you used rower. Gilder. Oh, gilder. I like that. And then you kept coming back to the R, right, with rower and then remake. Sweet. Yeah. I guess I could have said remake, right? Maker is just the same thing reversed. Different. They're anagrams of each other. Speaking of anagrams, we were talking about the connections, how the connections had a good... no, I guess it was the mini crossword. Mini crossword had a good anagram in it yesterday. And today. There's another good one today. We'll see that in a minute. But I did my connections puzzle in reverse order. The intended order, of course, from easiest to the most tricky. But no, I have the trickiest one first. I saw Bluto, and I was like, oh, that looks like Pluto. And then I saw Darth, and I was like, oh, like the Star Wars stuff, you know? But if you replace the D with an E, then you've got Earth. And I was like, oh, Pluto, Earth. What do you bet there's another? And I saw Venus for genus. And then as I was looking, I'm like, there's got to be a fourth one. There it is. Cars for Mars. Planets are dwarf planets with the first letter changed. Ingredients in bubble tea. Delicious bubble tea. I told you that my daughter was in this culinary class that they do not weekly. It's about once a month. They get together and they make a really awesome meal for the faculty. It's totally worth the price of admission because they do like a full 3-course meal and stuff. It's awesome. Yeah, tea and guitar, nothing better, right? But I was sitting across from another teacher, and she said, does anybody want my bubble tea? I don't like boba. She just doesn't like that experience of like popping a paintball in her mouth, right? It's just like the experience of like chewing on something and it explodes. I'm like, oh, you must not like gushers, huh? Same idea, right? You have something that has like a goo in the middle or something. I actually love that, right? I don't know why. I just love that popping sensation. It's all edible, you know. It's not weird or anything. There's little tiny bubbles, these boba bubbles. It's funny. Play some electric guitar. Oh, did I even read that one? Boba, milk, sugar, and tea make bubble tea. Play some electric guitar. You've got different ways to play guitar. You might jam, you might noodle, you might shred, you might solo. Qualities of overcooked meat: chewy, dry, stringy, or tough. I don't like tough meat. I don't like that feeling. I like it a little underdone. If I can choose how to have my steak, it's usually about medium rare, a little more pink. Not bleeding. I don't want my steak mooing at me, but definitely I do want that kind of soft chew to it. Oh, it's just really nice. So don't overcook it. Not fun. Okay, wines that Napa Valley is renowned for informally. You might call them cabs for Cabernet Sauvignon. Right away, at once. School students or pupils, and then cleverly an anagram exactly backwards, make mistakes. Or 8 across. Pupils slip up. I love that. I've had a lot of kids slip up lately. I just got an email from a kid that is panicking about their grade, and I'm like, honey, this is natural consequences. I cannot help you out of this one. There's no way. You can invent a time machine, but you cannot go back and do these things. I'm usually really willing to work with kids, but if I've never seen a kid in my class, literally never seen a kid in my class, and then suddenly the fear of the Lord comes over them, and they're like, I'm not doing well. Yeah, because you've never come. Kids, there are some kids that are not even assigned on my seating chart. Like they have literally never been on my roll. Like they're on my roll, but they're not on my seating chart. I'm like, why are you even in this class if you just chose not to come? Items of clothing that may be worn backward. A cap. You might put a baseball cap on backward. Sure. Atul Gawande, surgeon with the #1 New York Times bestseller, Being Mortal. Never seen that one. That's cool. Hasbro toy with a pull handle and twistable crank. A Bop It. I had Bop It as a kid. It's probably in a box somewhere. Criticize snarkily with snipe, to snipe at. You're reading it. We're reading a clue. Clue for the mini crossword. Channel with 2 and U spin-offs. ESPN2 and ESPNU. All about college ball. Okay. Cloud, right? OU, I got cloud. And then party gave me the RT. And then mine's was no help, but, you know, maybe it is help because, you know, process of elimination, there's only so many answers, so many letters. So, yeah, I try to come up with words that don't use any of the previous letters, thus making my guess most efficient every time. Cloud, and then none of those letters, party, and then again, none of those letters, mines. And then usually I'm able to get it because after that I've knocked out 15 letters and I know what it is, what it isn't. And usually I'm able to pull it from there. So I did it. I was like, oh man, there's still one letter out there. Actually, no, trout. I had to double the T. So technically I guessed all the letters. Yeah, I guess if I thought really, really hard on it, I could have, you know, guessed on the third, but whatever. I mean, you saw my track record, right? 100% win rate. And I've done this quite a few times. I don't know if this is like a strategy officially. I don't know. Somebody publish it for me. But it doesn't, you know, this is what makes sense to me. My strange little brain, the way it functions, is to guess 3 words that don't intersect each other. And then I've got what I have, what I don't have, and I can extrapolate from the rest. All right. Strands puzzle today was all about Star Wars. I knew today would be a Star Wars day because, you know, may the 4th be with you. And then you say, and also with your spirit, right? That's a bad joke. I keep saying these bad jokes. Some are weird or, I don't know. I'm off the wall. I'm unpredictable. Star Wars, A New Hope. Opening title crawl, right? Opening crawl. Long time, galaxy, space. These are words, of course, in the title crawl. Empire, planet, and rebel. The Rebel Alliance. Okay, and letterbox. We had to sort of reverse engineer this one a little bit. Thank you for your help, too. I came up with Marauder as my opening move. Callie, what did you come up with? Gilder. Not glider. Gilder with a U in it. I started with Marauder, and then Road, and then Drag, and then Glider. You used Glider too, didn't you? Oh, no, Gilder. I keep looking over. Gilder. And then we just had to use the K, so great call, Callie, on saying rake. Rake. Cool. Elk could have worked if E and the L and the K were on 2 different sides, but they were not. They were not. All right. Well, rounding out this Sunday morning, I hope you enjoy your day. Get some sun. We all need vitamin D now that the sun's finally out. It's getting warmer and warmer, too. I was working on some projects at my mom's house yesterday, and oh, man, it was getting really warm until the sun came down, right, and just kind of crested over like it's a golden hour. And, oh, it was marvelous to work in that sun, in that, like, twilight zone. Twilight zone. And then before I knew it, it was dark out, and I'm using a flashlight to see if her, you know, sprinklers have faced the right direction. But there's actually a couple things that I have not finished at her house that I need to go back and finish. I love taking care of my mom. I mean, she gave me life, and she helped me all throughout my entire upbringing, and of course I'm going to do everything I can to help her. So I look forward to going to help my mom. So there's some things I can't do. There's one thing that was beyond me yesterday, and I was like, I'm sorry, Mom, you might have to call a plumber for this. Because I don't have like a blowtorch, and she would need a blowtorch for this one piece. And I'm like, we'll just keep letting it drip for now, but for now, you know, we're gonna have to call somebody, so someone's on their way. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for a great chat, great stream, great puzzles, and may the 4th be with you. I'll catch you on the next one. See you guys.